We're recording?
Yep, I got it.
Should we go live on Facebook?
Yep. Will you take us live?
Thank you, Angelica.
Thank you.
Are you sure we're recording? Because it doesn't say recording on mine.
It says recording on mine.
Okay. All right.
But I'll double check.
You're recording. My green light's on saying my webcam's recording something.
We are live.
Okay, perfect.
All right, we're live in the
too.
group.
Yay.
Perfect. Hello, moms in real estate. I'm really excited today because who knew that so many realtors needed this website that we launched this week, which was so fun because we partnered with Amy Gregory on an awesome website through Standstore that she built out to offer to agents. And me and Randy were talking, we're like, it's crazy because so many people actually like on their Instagram, if you go to realtors Instagrams, will direct their link will go to like their brokerage website or their Facebook profile. And I'm like, what is going on? So anyways, we partnered with Amy on this awesome website, which we'll talk about later today. But this got the conversation going that we should probably teach our community about like how to actually utilize Instagram funnels for realtors. So I'm really excited to have you here today. Amy Gregory's out of Arizona. She runs a group called Powerhouse at EXP, and she's been really, really successful in a lot of different business ventures that she's done. So I'm really excited to learn from you today, Amy.
I'm so happy to be here. I feel like we go way back, Kristen. So it's fun to be like working together.
I know. Actually, Amy was on Moms in Real Estate probably the first year we started 8 years ago.
Oh my gosh, that's
wild.
That's crazy. It's been a fun 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you want to get into it?
Yep.
Can I share my screen? I'm going to go through a quick slide deck. Talk a little bit about, today we're going to talk a little bit about how to, like, we want, let's see, I'm sending the request. There we go. I can share my screen. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm going to jump into this. I'll have the chat open and so that you can ask questions as we're going through this. But we're going to talk a little bit about Instagram and really what is a lead, right? And how do we take leads off of Instagram? I think we see so many agents on Instagram saying Instagram is their greatest lead source, and it is, but there are a couple of pieces that maybe aren't being talked about quite enough, and one of those things is the website and having like a system for all of those leads. So you're in the right place if you're wanting a system that's efficient, repeatable, so you can focus on closing deals instead of constantly chasing leads. Want the perfect lead magnet that attracts quality buyers, sellers, and referrals like a magnet, and you want step-by-step funnel setup. So often it's like we kind of know what we need to do, but we don't know how to do it. So we're going to talk through kind of a 10,000 foot view, and then I'll show you how to do it like in 5 clicks. But I think you want to understand the process. So as things shift and change, you can make really, really good decisions inside your business. So step 1 is having a lead magnet inside of Standstore. The reason this website is built on Standstore is because it has a higher conversion rate. So I have built on ClickFunnels, I have built on Kajabi, I have built on like everything under the sun. And Standstore has really increased my conversion rate because it's like the double click, it's like the Apple Pay, where it's like, it's literally like the checkout process is so seamless. I'm saying create your ManyChat automation. Standstore has just come out with auto DMs. So I would actually tell you, if you're not using ManyChat, just stay in Standstore and use their auto DM feature because that's literally come out in the last 10 days. And then we're going to start posting to social media. So often people start right here, like, oh, I'm going to start posting to social media. And it's like, but there's no back end net to catch everything. So it's literally like you are out in the middle of the ocean and you are going to go fishing and you have the perfect bait. And then you're going to throw the net out with like, and it has a bunch of holes in it. Like there, and so you're not capturing your leads. You got rid of ManyChat and have been using Standstore. Perfect. Kristen can jump in on the Standstore DM. I honestly haven't built my Standstore DMs yet because I got a new computer. So I have to go remember all of my all of my passwords from everything under the sun. And literally I'm like, oh my gosh, like this has taken over my life. So it's on my list for this week. Anyways, we want to grow your audience. We want to increase your brand, transform your transactions. I don't want you just closing more transactions. I want you closing better transactions. We want listings, higher price points. We want you to be not driving across town, right? We really want to create a business that integrates well into your lifestyle. If you don't know me, my name's Amy. I started selling real estate at age 34. I'd been licensed when I was in my 20s. I took 10 years to have kids. I'm an Enneagram 8, which means I'm kind of just a straight shooter. It takes a lot to offend me. But if you have a question, I will literally just give you the answer. I won't try and soften it for you. I'll just tell you what I think. Mom to 4 kids. I'm a marketing nerd. I work part-time hours, and I'm like a geriatric millennial, which means I grew up playing Oregon Trail and then also had a cell phone in college. This is my family from last year. And here's how we're gonna go. Big idea. It's not about having the best idea. It's about being consistent with a simple idea. So often in real estate, like agents want to be like, reinvent the wheel every time I turn around. And it's like, stop doing that. Do the simple things that you know work. And I'll compare this to like being healthy. Okay, eat less, move more, drink more water, and go to bed. Literally, if you just did those 4 things, your health would transform in a huge way. But sometimes we want to overcomplicate the system. Yes or no in the chat if you find yourself overcomplicating the system inside your business. Is it just me or people say yes or no? Yeah. Okay. So let's just keep it simple and build it out. So my position is that a lead is not a lead until you take them off of the app. So you have to have a system for taking leads off of the app. This is what my DMs look like. And for anyone that wants me to be like, oh my gosh, like it's so hard to build on Instagram now. No, it's not. Like there is no shot you will be able to convince me that it's harder to grow on Instagram now than it was 5 years ago. Reels did not exist. Stories did not exist. I could not put a link in my Instagram stories. I had to film my Instagram stories in real time, and post in real time. Reels are served up to an audience of people that aren't following you. That did not exist. How many of you guys remember like the giveaways where you had to follow 13 people? That was the only way to like get your audience, like get yourself in front of a new audience. So anyways, let's go back to this. Why should your clients care? How are you solving their problem? A lead magnet is a free resource that addresses a specific pain point. And your goal is to entice these clients to gladly share their contact details so that you can nurture and engage them through email, ultimately converting them into buyers and sellers. This is how we're taking them off of the app. Your goal is to make it easy. How many of you, like yes or no in the chat, if you like shopping at Zara and their checkout process? How many of you been like, how many of you have been like, oh, I can't wait to go check out at Zara? Literally no one says that because it is an absolute nightmare. Have you ever gone and it's like, meanwhile, like you go to Nordstrom and you're just like, I feel like I am floating on a cloud. Right? They're so nice. They're so easy to work with. There's never a long line. There's always someone there to help you. I go to Zara. There's always 30 people in line. And then I get up there and I realize, oh, I have to self-checkout myself. And it's like a system I don't understand. And then they yell at you for doing it wrong. And you're like, I don't work here. You're right. I don't know how to do this. And then heaven forbid you want to return something to Zara. If you want to return something to Zara, just be prepared to poke your eyes out. It's so bad, right? So you have to make it easy for your clients. You want to make it, that checkout process has to be seamless. This is why Stan Store has been such a game changer. So first of all, we need a lead magnet. This is the solution your clients need, and your goal is to answer their question before they ask it. And I'm going to tell you that you are going to have to answer this question 137 times, again and again and again and again. It goes back to thinking about how many times you have to tell your kids to brush their teeth before they're 8. You could say it 8 times every single day for 8 years. And you still might just be average. It's not excessive, right? So there is a like volume, like number of times that you talk about it, number of times that you touch on it is important. So some of the things that your buyers and sellers are going to need, a home value report, a city guide, how to hire a realtor, what's your home worth? Like you want them to be able to like schedule an appointment with you. So we want to set up our stand store to like create these things. And so I set this stand store up a year ago and have been using it. Now I'm going to tell you today that you can just literally take my template and you don't have to set it all up because I've already tested it. So I'll tell you a little bit. This is what my stand store looks like. So number one, I don't know, like Instagram should operate like Zillow. It should be your own personal Zillow. So any feature that Zillow has, your Instagram and Stand Store should have. So why aren't people able to like schedule a showing with you? So when you click on this link, it will literally go to a calendar and they have to like schedule 12 hours out. So don't worry that it's not going to be like, oh, I need to see this in 20 minutes. And then they're able to like book a showing with you and put in the address of the house that they want to see. And I know so many of you are like, oh, but Amy, I've got to get my buyer's agreement signed. You're right, you do. You do. So after they schedule the showing, make sure you go get that signed. Bring it to the house with you. Like create that problem before you figure out how to solve it. You'll know how to solve it. The other thing is how to hire a realtor. This is a highly searched Google phrase. This isn't something that I just like made up. I looked at the data. Build your business based on data. So many people don't even know how to hire a realtor. And so tell them 22 questions to ask before you hire a realtor. And I want you to think about this in the context of Instagram. I am in Mesa, Arizona, but my Instagram is everywhere, right? It's all over the country. So there's really nothing stopping me from building a referral arm that say, oh, hey, there's a seller in Orlando, Florida. They need to know how to hire a realtor. And oh, by the way, then they're going to move to Dallas, Texas. Great. I would love to run into that person and connect them with an agent in both of those locations and take a 25% referral fee. Yes or no, if you like your hourly rate on a referral arm. On an outgoing referral arm, not an incoming referral arm, an outgoing referral arm. Think about the hourly rate on that. I'll just do the math because no one seems that excited about it in the comments. So I'm going to say it's a $500,000 house times 3%. And then let's say you take 25% of that. That means you get $37.50 for that referral. If it's a $500,000 house and you take a 25% fee. Is anyone sad about that? It might take you 2 hours to like process that, which then means your hourly rate on that is $1,875. $1,875. Good business. That's great business. Okay. We want to build smart businesses that buy back our time. I don't know about you. I don't want to be opening up doors when I'm 70 years old. I want to be doing whatever I don't want to do. Okay. Start your home search. This connects into like my IDX feed so that they can start their home search. What's your home worth? You can see how streamlined it is. I'm at EXP, so I want to know how to hire a broker as well. Buyer or selling, let's chat, name, and then I can text them, right? It's a super simple website. Like you literally want to be Chick-fil-A in and out, right? Don't you like going to those places? It's because their menu is so simple. If your stand store has more than 10 things on it, it will not convert well. This is what it looks like to schedule a showing. So someone can go, they can click their date and get what they need. Anyone like the look of this? Yes or no in the chat. If you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay. You want it to be very, very user-friendly for your buyers and sellers. Okay. Your buyers and sellers are not realtors. It's a highly emotional purchase for them. They need simplicity. They need to be told what to do. They need it to be clear as day. So one, I also use a listing presentation follow-up, like as a download. This is my listing presentation. If you don't have a listing presentation, go buy one. Go find one, make one, do something, get one, and build in that email follow-up. So this is how you kind of set up a stand store. I'm going to skip this part because we've done all of it for you. I'm going to tell you, Allison, how to get all of the guides because I'm just going to give them to you. Like the How to Hire a Realtor free download, I'm going to give it to you. Then you want to set up your ManyChat, cross this out, and we're going to do Stan Auto DM. We're going to keep it in Stan Store because it's like death by subscription. How many of you have way too many subscription services to run your business? Yes or no in the chat if you're like, yeah, I am subscribed out. Too many subscription services. Yeah, way too many. Okay, cool. So Stan Store now is going to deliver your free lead magnet. Then they're going to allow you to like set up that auto DM, that AI feature that keeps like your Instagram rolling. And then also you can email from them as well. So delete everything else. Just like delete everything else. Make the decision and delete it. I'll show you how ManyChat works. So if you don't know how ManyChat works, I'm going to show you the auto DM. It's the same thing. But this is where you automate, and it's a total game changer when it comes to posting social media. So a user comments on your post or reel, and then this is like, it downloads the link to them. It DMs the link to them. I just want you to look at this. This was one post, 317 were sent. Look at this click-through rate. 70% of the people clicked through on that. Go look at your email data and tell me if you're getting 70% click-through rates. I'll tell you that you are not. You're not. This is why it's so valuable. Look at the numbers, okay? So this is a plug-and-play system that lets buyers and sellers schedule showings, download a free lead magnet, and even get automated email follow-up, all without the tech headaches, okay? So I'm going to show you, this is how ManyChat will work. This is my how to hire a realtor. Okay, this is a post I was talking about. The headline I put on here was how to sell your house for top dollar. And then in the caption, I go through, hey, this is how you sell your house for top dollar. And I lay out exactly how to go to market, how to price your house, why it matters, right? And then at the very bottom, I say, if you're looking to sell and need to hire an agent, comment hire, and I'll send you my free guide to hiring an agent. Inside this caption, I have already proven to them that I'm smart and that I have a plan. And then I'm going to say, hey, by the way, if you need help hiring a realtor, I'm not telling you to hire me. You don't need to hire me, but I will help you hire a realtor, right? I want you to see how many people commented on this. 156 people commented on it. Does that make posting to social media more interesting? Everyone should be saying yes in the chat if you're like, oh, now I'm ready to post to social media. Yeah, because then they're going to post, and then you want to know where they're going to go? They're going to land, going backwards here. They're going to land, oops, right here. It's going to link them to right here, and they're going to download this guide. And guess what you now are going to have? What are you going to have? Drop it in the chat. You're going to have their email, right? And then once you have their email, once they've downloaded that thing, it's going to have a whole email series that follows up with them like, hey, by the way, start your home search here. Hey, if you need to get your home value report, click right here, right? Which is then going to drop them also into your CRM. Do you see how now you have this immersive handle around all of your leads, right? So then you start posting your content. Once you have these two things set up, now you have a place to send your clients so that they can get exactly what they need at scale. Okay? It's easy. Would you like to see some examples of content that has worked at a very high level? Would that be helpful to you? Yes or no? Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to hop to a different slide deck so I can show you. Drop any questions that you have for me in the chat. Why? I've lost my. Sorry, I've lost my slide deck here. Okay, there it is. Questions in the chat. How many of you think this website would be incredibly helpful? Yes, then I send those referrals, right? People that opt in and saying like, oh, I need a referral. I'm going to just pull up I gotta find, let me find I wasn't gonna go through all the content.
Hello.
Fine. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Get off my stoop. I'm not home, but I can see you. I'm creeping. It's did you find that oil pan?
I don't think she's talking to us.
Did
Oh,
you look
okay.
under there was a leaf. Hi, Nana. There was a leaf.
Randy, can you mute her?
She's muted.
Okay.
Took me a
So
minute though. I thought it was like working for a sec. I thought she was talking to Amy. I was like, all right, well, she's on your stoop, Amy.
I love it. Okay, so I'm going to jump into a different slide deck here so I can go through this is Kristen will drop a link to the website that you can copy and paste if you want the website template that I was talking about in Stand Store. It is the exact template. It will auto load into your Stand Store. So you just subscribe to Stand Store through Kristen's link. Click on that link and it will take you to Stand Store. You can try it for 14 days for free. You'll go through a little onboarding with them, getting to know you, and then it will say, use Amy Gregory's template. And that whole template will literally load into your Stand Store. Okay. Now, let's talk about Reels and how to create the content that drives the traffic to the website, right? The website is only as valuable as the content coming into it. So these two things have to work in conjunction with each other. So this is my viral reel formula. I want B-roll footage. I want it less than 7 seconds long, trending audio, a strong hook, long caption, and a call to action with an auto DM. How to find trending audio. I want this number right here to be less than 5,000, and I want this number right here to be over 1 million. You can look at people's audios. There's a little arrow that will say trending. Just start paying attention to the audios that you're using and try and hit these metrics. If this number is 10,000, it's fine. Just get going. So this is what people have done with this formula. Reach is up 368%, received 4 referrals in the past week from IG, $1 million listing appointment from Instagram. Been using Amy's captions and my analytics are up 1,500%. Non-followers, so people they've never met before. Had $1 million seller reach out on IG, got a referral from a reel. This is awesome. Okay? Okay. This is what it looks like. Now I'm talking to agents in this one, but you're going to talk to buyers and sellers on this one. This was how you film B-roll footage. This was filmed at 7 a.m. on a cold winter morning last year. I'm unshowered. I have no makeup on and I'm wearing a ball cap because so many people are like, oh my gosh, I have to get dressed every day if I'm going to show up on camera. Okay. Come again. We can do this. No tripod was used. Instead, it was my trusty Stanley cup. Here it is. It's always sitting here. It's got my better days in it. Also, the sign didn't need to be wiped down, but I needed something. So I grabbed a napkin from my husband's car and I made something happen. Here's what's so great. 932 comments on this on a ManyChat automation. This is how you have virality and growth inside of your business is you're stacking these wins. Here's another one. Okay, so you're like, okay, but Amy, you're talking to real estate agents. That's so much easier. Yes or no, if you have found yourself saying like, oh, that's so much easier than talking to buyers or sellers. Yes or no? Anyone convince yourself of that? I've heard that one a time or two. So this one is filmed up on my computer. Agents are known for being on their computer. What the hook on this one would be is just ran a home value report for a client. Turns out they have $85,000 in equity. Want to know how much equity you have? Right? And then you, in your caption, you'd say, hey, listen, we're in a market where people legitimately have hundreds of thousands of dollars of equity in their house. Oh, comment value, and I'll send you the link to find out how much your home is worth. Yes or no, if that makes sense to you in the chat. Okay. So watch my fingers in this. I'm not even typing. I'm not even typing. Listen, you are in the business of marketing, and the best marketer will always be the best agent. And I'll tell you why. The best marketer will always end up doing the most deals. And whoever does the most deals is the best agent, right? So don't overthink it, okay? So you kind of have to have sets for when you're filming. This is a good set. You in front of a sign is proof of success. You are a listing agent. That visual of like, oh, Amy Gregory, powerhouse. Great, got it, got it, got it. Again, again, again. You're going to hit it, okay? You in front of your computer, they see you there all of the time, because if they see it here, it's real. It's real. That is their reality. That is your portfolio of work, okay? Oh, here I am running comps for someone. They have $100,000 of equity. Oh, great. Here it is, right? Tell them what you're doing. Here's another example. Okay, that's funny. Number one, I'm known for being kind of a straight shooter. You're known for always being in your car. Bonus, your car almost has good lighting and you can have your sunglasses on. So again, that whole thing of like, man, I have to wear makeup on all the time. My best performing video is me in my car driving home from carpool and I have no makeup on. I'm driving home from preschool carpool. Sorry, my neck is kinked. And then, the caption on this one, I'll play it again in case you missed the hook. So like this hook is kind of, it's hooky. Okay. So here's how not to be an annoying client. I talked about shopping inside your budget. Like, don't go shop outside your budget. And it's like not a sexy conversation, right? I'm like, listen, I know you don't like to talk about budgets with your husband and you're borderline offended that I'm going to bring up the B word when we've barely met. But like, you've got to stay in your budget, because if you look outside your budget, you're going to be disappointed with what's inside of your budget. So stay inside your budget, because that is your dream home and we want you to be happy. Da, 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 da. If you're ready to start your home search, comment the word search and I'll drop you a link where you can start your home search. Okay. 24 people are opting in, right? 16,000 people saw that one. I don't have my metrics on this one. 656 people commented on that one. 555 people saved it. 100 people shared it. That's crazy, you guys. Those numbers are nuts. Okay. So what types of footage should you film? On a laptop, celebrating wins, trying on outfits, making a drink, journaling, standing and thinking, walking kind of with purpose, at a desk, getting out of your car, talking on your phone. There's a million things that you can kind of film inside of your like day to day that then shows up, and then you're able to drive traffic to the Stand Store website where it's all automated. The email funnels are in there. The lead magnets are in there. Like, you literally copy and paste your IDX feeds and your home value, however you're sending out home value report links, you just go change those links and now they're all coming in. Does anyone else just feel like happy that you don't have to build this freaking template? Anyone? Just me? Yes? No? Questions? Feel free to unmute. I'm an open book. I have like 15 minutes, so feel free to unmute. Ask me all your questions.
Okay, I have a question, Amy.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, yeah, that was my comment there. So on your profile, how much of it are you doing local based, like trying to get local business, versus how much is coming in that referrals and like on a national level?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you that my business, how many of your leads, local leads looking to hire? Okay, let me answer your question pretty succinctly. So every agent starts out as a transaction agent, right? And most agents, how many of you, yes or no in the chat, started, like, your first deal was a buyer? Yes or no in the chat. I would bet 80% of you, your first deal was a buyer. They're easier to prospect, right? And then you realize, man, buyers are exhausting. I'm driving all over town. I got to get into the house so we can see it before all these things, right? So then theoretically you shift to sellers and you want to be listing heavy. Okay. This is how you grow inside of real estate. And then once you're a listing agent and you're going to start prospecting more deals than you can do. So then you hire a showing agent. Now you're in the agent business. The second you hire an agent for showings or whatever it is, you're now in the agent business, right? And then you have to build like a local team, a national team, maybe it's digital products, but that's the next step. And then theoretically, you're buying investment properties and things like that, right? This is how you're going to scale your business. So to answer your question, if you go look on my Instagram right now, you're probably like, Amy's not even talking to buyers and sellers. How does she even know what she's talking about? Right? Is that a fair question? You can say it. It's a fair question, right? I know what I'm talking about because I'm an Instagram expert. So I am not scaling transactions. I have an agent that helps me on all of my transactions. So, but I run a team of over 550 agents and I've had agents 4 and 5x their business. So it is using the algorithm to your advantage. So I'm going to put the question back on you, Heather, and say, do you want to work with buyers? Do you want to work with sellers? Or are you trying to build like a team? What are you trying to do?
Yeah, I mean, I would say like I want higher end buyers. That's what I like. And then the listing
Okay.
side, but yeah, not wanting to be in all of the day-to-day business. But yeah, I was just curious, like if you have like like how much business you're getting locally that you're leveraging that way versus nationally. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, totally. It does. It totally does. So I probably like transaction wise, I probably close about 8 million a year. And then my name isn't on all my transactions because I don't want the liability of them, right? So I have an agent that helps me with all of my transactions, but like my business is a multi 7-figure business,
Gotcha.
right? Because now I'm going to have my referrals going out, right? Like I had a $2 million referral come in this week on Instagram. Okay. Well, and I've had probably another $500,000. So 2.5 million in referrals have come into me, right? From Instagram. And then how much are we referring out? Right. And so it's keeping track of all of that. So let's talk about a little bit about what you want to build. Cause I think yes or no in the chat, if all of you want high-end sellers that live close to you, that are 20 minutes from you, within 20 minutes. Okay. So you need to remember this. Sellers almost always start out as buyers. So your social media needs to talk about buying because they always start out as buyers. Okay. So let's say I want to work with sellers that are at like an $850,000 price point. Okay. That means I am going to show real estate that's at $1.5 million. Because if they're selling an $850,000 house, they're probably going to go buy something that's like $1.5 million. I love $1.5 million buyer. That actually turns over in my market. That's not like super, super, super high end, right? But that $1 million buyer kind of turns over pretty easily and it's a great paycheck for you. Okay. So if you want $1.5 million transaction, you need to be showing houses that look like $1.5 million. You need to be dressing like you sell $1 million homes a little bit. Like stop showing up. And I get everyone say, no, just be you, just be you, just be you. That's fine. But I'm going to tell you, have you ever watched athletes walk in and they have their fit check going into a game? Right? You see the fit checks of them going into a game. But then when they come out of the locker room, they have their jersey on. They put on a jersey to go to work, right? So there is an element of looking the part and taking yourself seriously. I'm not saying like, oh, you have to change who you are dramatically, but when you show up like you care about it and like you're gonna like you see me when I'm filming listing videos and stuff, like I'm dressed. Like I am in a dress, I am in slacks, I am like put together. Now you also see me in carpool on my stories and I'm like in something like this, right? But when I'm going into game day, I put my jersey on and I show up, right? And that's really important. Is this answering your question, Heather? Is this helpful to you?
Yeah, I mean it up.
Okay. So if the other phrases I would use is I would get really specific on like where you live. Okay. Like I would say, oh, I live in the groves of Mesa. Like, I don't just live in Mesa, I live in the groves. And you want to live in the orange groves if you're in Mesa, right? That is where you want to live. Or you'd say, oh, I live in Los Andes. Like, I'm up in Los Andes. That's a very popular, I'm in Arcadia, I'm in Morrison Ranch. There's certain areas where I live that you want to talk just about that area, right? And that can support your whole business. So it's like, oh, if I was focused on Morrison Ranch is the part of Arizona that doesn't look like Arizona. It's tree-lined streets, everyone has lawn, the trees lose their leaves. That's not a thing in the desert. So you're like, oh, if I was moving to Gilbert, Arizona, and I wanted to feel like I had 4 seasons, I would live in Morrison Ranch. Here's why. Da, 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 da. And you're going to then like have very highly localized content to bring in those buyers and sellers. Does that make sense? Any other questions? And then it's going to lead to like, what's your home value report? Start your home search, how to hire a realtor, right? All of those things. No one wants to say 5 questions you need to ask your agent. What they want your headline to be is how not to get sued when you sell your house. Do these 5 things so you don't get sued when you sell your house. Do you see the difference? I'm saying the same thing. One's just, so it's like the power of, so my daughter's 15 and she has this girlfriend that is an absolute riot. And she is so funny and she's so good at telling a story. And you have to get good at telling a story, right? So she's over here the other day and we were talking about someone and she's like, oh my gosh, that's the guy that assaulted me. And I'm like, what? And she's like, with words. You know what I mean? And she's really just saying like, oh, he said something mean about me, right? That's all she's saying. But she said it in such a way that I was like crying, laughing. I'm like, that was freaking funny, right? So it's that cadencing of it where she's like, that's the guy that assaulted me. Waits a beat. And then it's like, with words. And she's saying, you know, like, you have to start presenting information kind of like that, right? Instead of this really buttoned up 5 things to do before you list your home. No one cares. Literally no one cares, right? So you have to think of how to say it. And then it was like, oh, here's my guide to hiring an agent. But in the whole caption, you're going to tell them why you're the best agent, right? Okay, any other questions?
I'll ask one that I'm sure a lot of people have on their minds is like, so all of a sudden you set up this Stan Store account and you do something, you know, you're like comment, whatever, buyer for this, whatever. They comment or nobody comments. And then they're
Yeah.
like defeated and they don't want to do it again. So maybe like
Yeah.
just talk to the aspect of it because that is part of the process. And I think that that's something that's like, go ahead and speak to it.
That is such a thing. It is such a thing. And I'm going to tell you, the first time you post with like a auto DM feature, literally nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. That is like the equivalent of expecting yourself to walk into a gym for 15 minutes and you come out looking like, you know, and I actually have a whole slide deck on this. Let me see if I can find it really quickly because it's kind of a fun, it's one of my better ones. It's kind of a funny one. It's a good example. Let me see. Here it is. So it's one of these things where your Instagram, so many of you just think like, oh, this happened overnight for Amy. No. I went through a period where I like literally posted 2 reels a day for like 6 months. Why? Because I wanted to hurry up and figure it out. You know what I mean? Like if you have an 8-year-old boy that plays baseball, is he hitting a home run every time he gets up? No, baseball is actually a sport of failure. Like they fail more than they succeed. Even in the majors, have you looked at their batting averages? Their batting averages, like if you have like a 300 batting average, like you're the bomb. That sucks. Theoretically, that means 30% of the time you hit the ball, like these are like the best people in the world, and they only hit it 30% of the time. And here we are expecting a home run every time we get up to bat. So it's having just simple wins again and again. So I'll share this little quick story for you so that next time you're feeling sad, you can just tell yourself to stop feeling sad. So this is my son. He's a senior in high school now. This is him as a freshman in high school. This kid is like normal sized. Okay. He's average. He's average, right? And it's one of these things of like, he weighed 90 pounds his freshman year. He was less than 5 feet tall, quit basketball due to his size, best friends with the alpha athlete, not this guy. He is good friends with this guy, but this guy isn't the alpha athlete. And girls referred to him as like the little guy. Sound fun? No. It's brutal, right? 3 years later, this is what he looks like. He weighs 160 pounds. He benches 260 pounds. He grew 9 inches. Dated the head cheerleader for a really long time. Varsity athletes ask him to train them now. But this comes like the point being that in order for your business to grow, okay, how do muscles grow? How do you get them to grow?
Reps.
Reps, but
Training.
you literally have to break them. You have to break them, and then you have to add resistance to it. So you probably feel this in your business, like, oh, Instagram feels so hard. Okay. Convince me that it's harder to build a business. Like, you guys, I'm sitting in my home office. I'm going to go pick my kids up from school in 5 minutes. And I've built a multi-7-figure business working part-time hours. Tell me why I should feel sorry for myself or act like it's too hard. That's crazy. Honestly, it's crazy, right? Now, does it feel uncomfortable? Sure. But like in order to build muscle mass, you literally have to break down the muscle, add weight, and push through that, right? And then the muscle rebuilds, okay? So you have to be adding weight onto your business. Like, and physically you feel sore. Like there's days when I go up and I'll grab him. He's like, oh, don't, it was back day. Don't touch me, right? Because he's physically is sore. Are you feeling that in your business? Yes or no? Like you feel physically and emotionally sore. Yes or no, if you're feeling that. Okay. That is the process. Like that is the process, right? And here's what's so interesting is that when you look at, when you look at the capacity, okay, like you look at him here. Sorry, I'll get this right here. When you look at him here, I mean, look, like you guys, come on, freshman year, like this person could probably do like 15-pound dumbbells, right? He could only lift 15-pound dumbbells. You might only be able to post 3 reels a week right now. That might be your capacity. But once you're able to do that and you keep doing it, this guy right here can do 50-pound dumbbells, right? And not what's changed is him, right? Because he's done the reps, and you can't fake that. You can't buy that. You can't, like, the only way to increase your capacity is to actually do the work. And the same is true inside your business. And here's the other thing, and this does not get talked about enough, but there's always, this is my youngest son. And can you see, like, he is just, who do you think he's obsessed with? This guy right here, right? He's obsessed with him, right? But what's interesting is when you do this, there's all these other phenomenal byproducts that you're not even aware of, right? So at 15 years old, my son was like, I mean, F you to everyone. I'm sick of being called the little guy. And he woke up and literally he could not drive yet. So he would wake me or my husband up before school and say, like, we take him to the gym. So he's waking up at 5 a.m. I had secondhand embarrassment for him going into the gym because I'm like, oh my gosh, like he's so tiny. He has no idea what he's doing, right? How many of you feel that way about Instagram? I'm so tiny. I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay. But no one's watching him. No one's even paying attention to him because he's so irrelevant. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. No one's thinking about you as much as you're thinking about you. Right? No one is, right? So, but as you quietly get your reps in, then they start talking. But by the time they start talking about you, you're better. You're better at it and you don't feel as self-conscious. But the other incredible byproduct is you want to know who's at the gym at 5 in the morning? A bunch of like, I'm 42, but it's like a bunch of like 32-year-old guys that like live in my neighborhood. They're all at the gym at 5 in the morning. And who do you think they freaking love? I love seeing Zach pop in there, right? They're like, who the heck is this kid? Awesome, right? So now he has these relationships with these guys that are just like, and they've watched him grow, right? They've watched him be consistent. They've watched him change who he is. And then it becomes this big, huge thing. The same is true with your Instagram account. You'll meet people you never thought you would meet. More opportunities have come from me consistently posting to Instagram than anything else, which sounds like so stupid, but it's true, right? My confidence is I don't care what people think anymore. Like I literally don't care. Right? Because I know what I know. And I've done the work and no one can take that from me. No one can take that knowledge. No one can take those reps, right? I will never fear the market. I will never fear it because I've always figured it out. And so just doing those reps makes a huge difference. Okay, sorry, I've rambled on way too long. Sorry. That's my take on it.
That was great. I loved it. Does anybody have any final questions before we have pickup? You guys are quiet today.
You guys are the best. Get the website template, start posting consistently to social media, get those auto DMs set up. I swear it will change your life.
Yeah.
It will change your life. So Kristen
Awesome.
can drop a link in there. I've got to dip out. You guys want to keep talking? I've got to dip out, but thank you so much for having me. And I love what Kristen has built. It's been so fun to like watch her do all this. And I was always so impressed with her.
Oh, thanks, Amy. We'll see you later.
Thanks, Amy.
Bye.
Thank you.
And yes,
All right,
we will send out the recording in our weekly.
This will be in our, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying it'll go in the weekly email this week.
Yep. And then you guys can also, if you want it like sooner than that, it's live in the Facebook group.
Thanks, ladies.
Thanks, y'all.
Bye,
Bye,
girls.
guys. Bye, guys.